Okay, so it just dawned on me that the port priority.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Okay, so it dawned upon me that not only does the priority have to be a number from 0 to 65,035, and the default is 32,768, but it also has to be a multiple of 4,096. That's just another rule that Radia Perlman, shout out to Radia Perlman. Hopefully she's watching somewhere, right? Radia Perlman is set in place that it has to be a multiple of 4,096. So let's just say, hypothetically speaking, if this was 32,768, and let's say this was 81,196, right? No, 81,192. I don't even know what the multiples of this are. I don't, off the top of my head, this is. Let me see. 1 times 2. Okay. So let's say if this was 88,192, right? And this was uh, 600, 6 times 3 is. Well, actually, the Cisco does have context sensitive help, so this would be 600. 602 is 18. Put down 8 kind of 1. Okay, 602 is 18, kind of 8, kind of 1. 9 times 3 is 27. And 1 is 28, right? 28, 2. This is 2, and this 4 times 3 is 12, right? 12,288. Yeah. 12,288. Hopefully I'm right, because if I'm not, I'm making a fool out of myself. But, okay, so let's just say, remember the priorities have to be multiples of 4,096. So it would be good to memorize the priorities of 4,096. But I believe once you get to CCNP level, which is CCNP level, so if you knowing the multiples of 4,096 up to 65,535 would be beneficial. So you could configure the default port priorities. But if this had a priority of 32,768, this had a priority of 12,288, and this had a priority of 8,192, then let me see. Then okay, so the rule is the lowest priority wins the election. The lowest priority wins the election. So in this particular case, the lowest priority would be this switch right here. So this would win the election. Now, if all the priorities were tied, let's just say if all the priorities were, hypothetically speaking, if they were or just imagine if all the priorities were 8,192 and 8,192, then the default priority in this Spanish election would be the MAC address, or the tiebreaker would be the MAC address. So if this MAC address is, let's just say AAA, BBB, CCC, right? AABBCC, and this is BB. I'm just CCDD, and this is DDEEFF. Then what you do to figure out the priority, and this is good. Why it's good to know hexadecimal. And it dawned on me, why is it good to learn hexadecimal? Because when I was going through my CCNT studies, I was learning hexadecimal, and sometimes you realize that things are good to know later on, and then when you get to problems like this, you can say, oh, okay, well, that's beneficial to know. So hexadecimal works like this. from A to F, and then from 0 to 9, right? So from A to F, right, and 0 to 9. From A to F, and, I'm sorry, hold on. From A to F, and then from 0 to 9, right? So it starts off with A to F. So if you line all these up, then the lowest, MAC address would be this right here, because A is lower than D, and it's lower than B. So this would be the switch if indeed all the MAC addresses were tied. I'm sorry, if all the priorities were tied, then you would look at the MAC address, and the lowest from A to F and 0 to 9, so it would be A. I hope you're able to follow me to an extent. I guess what we covered today. Rick, you want to say anything, man?
Nice job, bro.
All right. So 0
Yeah.
to 65,535, and the default priority is, you remember, 32,768. Oh, and also, this number, the priority, it also has something to do with the year that the switch came out. I just can't remember exactly, like, I can't pinpoint it, but I think newer models have a, oh, there it goes. Older model switches have a lower priority. Is that right? Older model switches have a lesser priority, and the newer model switches have a newer priority. It's either something or reverse. I have to look up the Cisco documentation, but that's the concept. So that's why you have to adjust the priority, and sometimes you will want to force the priority. But remember, 40,096, that's the number that you have to know. The multiples of 40,096 up to 65,535 would be beneficial to just write them down over and over and over again. And that's, getting up to CCNP stuff, Cisco Certified Network Professional. And we know what a frame looks like. 8 bytes, 6 bytes, 6 bytes, 2 bytes, 4 bytes, and 4 bytes. A frame usually is around 1,000, I don't know. I think it's around 1,500 bytes around there, give or take. Because the data portion of the frame is 46 to 1,500 bytes. Oh, 1,500 bytes, excuse me. And basically we get the gist of what Spanish tree protocol is. It solves for a bridging loop. Again, we're gonna go over some more examples of Spanish tree protocol and how to forcefully configure your root bridge. We'll go over that in some subsequent videos. And this is some more studies on Cisco and Spanish tree protocol. I hope you guys enjoyed the lesson. Thank you for viewing.